Hello, and welcome to Tuesday, September 22nd. I'm going to walk you through what we did in 11th grade English today. So, mostly, we focused on your writing assignment that's going to be due on Monday of next week. I'm encouraging you to do it as early and draft as often as you can this week, because as you do, I'll come and help. I'll come into the document and I'll offer feedback, I'll add my thoughts, and by the time you turn in whatever you turn in on Monday, it'll be fantastic. If you wait until Sunday to do it, you can do that, but you don't get all that helpful feedback. So please do take advantage of these class times every day, the assignments I give every day, to just work on the paragraph. So you can see today we did a poem. I read a little piece from Jenny Tonpahot of the Kiowa Indian Nation, and then we talked about the assignment. The stem for today was to work on your topic sentence. So I have some examples of that here. First, we read Grace by Joya Harjo. Grace. I think of wind and her wild ways, the year we had nothing to lose and lost it anyway, in the cursed country of the fox. We still talk about that winter, how the cold froze imaginary buffalo on the stuffed horizon of snowbanks, the haunting voices of the starved and mutilated broke fences, crashed our thermostat dreams, and we couldn't stand it one more time. So once again, we lost a winter in stubborn memory, walked through cheap apartment walls, skated through fields of ghosts, into a town that never wanted us, in the epic search for grace. Like coyote, like rabbit, we could not contain our terror and clowned our way through a season of false midnights. We had to swallow that town with laughter so it would go down easy as honey. And one morning, as the sun struggled to break ice, and our dreams had found us with coffee and pancakes in a truck stop along Highway 80, we found Grace. I could say Grace was a woman with time on her hands, or white buffalo escaped from memory, but in that dingy light, it was a promise of balance. We once again understood the talk of animals, and spring was lean and hungry with the hope of children and corn. I would like to say, with Grace, we picked ourselves up and walked into the spring thaw. We didn't. The next season was worse. You went home to Leech Lake to work with the tribe, and I went south. And wind, I am still crazy. I know there is something larger than the memory of a dispossessed people. We have seen it. So that's Grace. Really, it's about one of our understands. I think it's really about the way that art helps us survive. And that's happening right here as well in the Jenny excerpts. I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom. We did a lot more in class, but I want to keep this to the time limit of Screencast-O-Matic. So here we get into the questions that this author asks about survival. She herself is a Kiowa Indian, and she writes, "The stories about my grandparents led me to write this book. How did Kiowa people survive the upheavals of the early 20th century? How did they change? To what extent did the arts change or symbolize change? And what were the roles of cultural producers, that is to say, artists? How did people understand their arts and the arts and their meanings?" Or down here, two fundamental questions that she lands on. How did Kiowa people survive during the reservation era in the early 20th century, and how did they use the arts to facilitate this survival? That word survival appears again in the last sentence. What follows should matter to those of us interested in the survival and adaptation of indigenous people, because cultural producers played central roles in our survival. So survival is huge in these sentences in the way that art has helped her make sense from her Kiowa nation's cultural artifacts of the nation itself. So art helps the culture survive. And that is one of our writing assignment objectives that you can choose. So let's go to that now. Revisiting this assignment from yesterday. I assigned it yesterday. It's due on Monday of next week. You get to pick one of these concepts. Just now I was talking a lot about how art helps us survive. So that's number 2, but you can pick 1 or 3 as well. You're going to pick one piece of art to study, and then you're going to write your paragraph explaining how the art reveals the concept. So the thing I'd like you to do today, just to start, is to tell me what you picked. So come into this document. It's linked on the agenda. It's very, very fast. Write your name, what concept you choose, and what piece of art you choose. That's it. You're done. And then you can go back to try to figure out, well, how am I going to write this? We started by using our big Google Docs and pulling the stem over. So I say just write one sentence, your topic sentence, write the art's title that you picked, and reveals that the concept you picked, the word because. So that looks like this. I did 3 examples in my master Google Doc. Here, Tuesday. What reveals that what because? So I'm offering this poem maybe. Reveals that art helps us survive because. Or what you pawn I will redeem reveals that art reflects our spirit because. Or lastly, the Navajo Indian stories reveal that we are not defined by those who have power over us because. So that's the formula. I want you to start here, and then you can break it open if you don't like the sentence you made later. But this is a great way to begin your topic sentence for your paragraph. And then I'll ask you to add it to your entry for today. Tomorrow and Thursday, all we're going to do is work on these paragraphs. All right, so the last thing that I'm going to show you is a model of how you can work on these using a paragraph outline. Let me go back so you can see where I found this. So here's our website. This is our Schoology page. And if you scroll down, I put it on the home page, so it's right here. It's called Single Paragraph Outline to help you with your first paragraph assignment. I'm not requiring this nor collecting it, but I think this is a really useful tool as you try to figure out what you're going to say in your piece. It'll bring up this screen, and then you should download it using that little arrow over there. And then it'll open it up at the bottom of your screen. And I'll walk you through how I would use this, but we're going to use my paragraph model and go backwards. So here's what I wrote. This one. Art reflects our spirit. Jimmy Santiago Baca's I am offering this poem. So I start by saying, Baca's I am offering this poem reflects the belief that the most precious gift life offers is love itself. So I'll come back over here to this document. I'm just going to fill that out really quick and add that thought. Baca's I am offering this poem reveals that the most precious gift life offers is love itself. Now I've got a few sentences I want to write in this paragraph, so I need to come up with some details to illustrate that topic sentence around love. And you can see I've already done this, but let's go and work backwards. First, I talk about how he repeats I love you 4 times in the poem, and how 4 is a sacred number. So that was my first detail. Love repeated 4 times, sacred number. Right. I'm going to need a couple more details. I decided to do the way that love appears in the poem, the words being aligned to the right margin. I want to think about that a little bit. So my second detail that I chose to do was the margins of I love you. And then I end up talking about trials and adversity, and the way that the poem offers warmth itself. So, poem, warmth. And then my concluding sentence is really about love being a gift strong enough to offer physical nourishment. So I'm going to say, love is a gift strong enough to offer physical nourishment. This is CS, the concluding sentence, and I feel like I should say in conclusion, love. So now it sounds more conclusive. So this, we worked backwards into it, shows you how you could use those little details to build a full paragraph outline. And you might find that this is a very useful thing for you to use tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday as you're trying to generate this paragraph. But that is where we ended class. After you try to take a stab at your topic sentence, you're done. I'll offer this. I'm not grading your STEM today. I'm just giving you time to work. So I would like you to do these little things this week, but it's all building towards your paragraph. So we'll have lots of time tomorrow and Thursday to workshop. Thanks for watching.